All right. All right. Are we recording? We're recording. Hi, everybody. Hey, how you doing, everybody? It's Uncle Bruce here from Stock Markets with Bruce, and I thought I'd make a little video tonight for the story that is breaking yesterday and today. GameStop trying to take over eBay. Today's date, and right now it is Sunday, May the 3rd, 2026. And it's about 11 o'clock Eastern Time, 9 o'clock here in Calgary, Alberta, Canada, where I'm hanging out. And I thought I'd just give you a quick little, well, I'll try to make it a quick little overview of what I think is going on with this takeover offer that seems to be happening, where GameStop is trying to buy out eBay. No matter what happens between now and the end of this deal, GameStop comes out a big fat winner no matter what happens. I'll tell you why. GameStop cannot lose on this situation that we have going on here. This is really something else. If you are familiar with this deal already and you've heard a little bit about it, you probably already know that eBay is a much larger corporation when you figure out its market cap value than GameStop is. The numbers are about 12 billion value for GameStop. I've heard 10 to 12 billion. Make up your mind on that. And then eBay apparently is worth about 40 something billion, or last report it was worth 40 something billion market cap, 46 billion as of the close of Friday night. So we got one company worth about, one quarter of the other, right? And we have the small company trying to buy the big company. Okay. There are definitely two big differences between GameStop and eBay. GameStop is dominated by one major shareholder without question, and that's Ryan Cohen, the CEO and chairman of the board. He single-handedly took over that company during the beginning of the short squeeze back in 2021 when GameStop went ballistic. He ended up with 14% of the company before the shares even hit $15, $20 a share. Before the 4-for-1 split, we're talking like under $5 a share way back when. And he's held his stock ever since, and he's now bought some more, and he is the single largest shareholder of the company. He works for nothing, no salary as CEO, no stock options in the company until this past year, just into the new year, where he's been granted stock options that he can buy from the company all the way up to $100 a share and more, depending on the value of the corporation and so on. There's a lot of incentive for him to get GameStop shares moving up in price for him to max out a big payday for himself, something like $35 billion. But that's another story. Let me get back into the situation here. Ryan Cohen, hands-on, is managing and running GameStop and has eliminated hundreds of millions of dollars in expenses for GameStop. He's closed underperforming stores in the United States. He has sold off Canada's GameStop stores, sold off the European operations, sold off, I believe, Australia. He has pared down GameStop from what it was. He has also completely eliminated the fat cat management of GameStop from way back when. All the guys who were the CEOs and CFOs and COOs and all the directors, all of their stock options, all their benefits, they were all taken out. They were all long ago excused. They all walked away with a lot of money. And Mr. Cohen has taken the overheads of GameStop way, way down. And if you look at the financials at the SG&A expenses, sales administration expenses, you'll see that number still falling every quarter that is reported by the company. This is a lean and mean corporation. And then, of course, those of you who know GameStop well, you know they're sitting on $10 billion in cash with no debt. And that's what makes up most of the $12 billion in value. The stores themselves, 3,300 of them, the street gives them no value as far as the stock price goes. My personal opinion, I think that they're worth $3 to $5 billion because he's turned the stores around now into just not being only gaming centers, but now collectible centers as well. And this is a big business that he's moving into heavily and very economically, I might say. So GameStop is about to explode as a corporation. I've never hidden the fact that I love the GameStop story and how Ryan Cohen runs it. Now, eBay. eBay was created by an individual way back when, back in the 90s, and that individual took the company public with other people and employees, and it's now been 35 plus years that eBay's been around. And eBay was run by Meg Whitman for a while, and she left the company and joined IBM and ran it for a while. And Meg Whitman and her associates all earned a lot of stock in eBay way back when. And now today, the two largest single people that own GameStop, eBay shares would be Meg Whitman and the original creator of eBay. Between the two of them, they own about 5% each of the company, 20-something million shares each. There's another shareholder now of eBay that owns about 5% of the company, and that is GameStop. GameStop now owns 5% of eBay because they bought it up in the open market. My best guess, having read the news release and the so-called takeover offer, it looks like GameStop bought eBay shares around $80, $85, $90 a share. I'm going to guess they're 85 average. They got about 20 to 22 million shares. And I am telling you, right here and right now, my opinion, no matter how this deal ends, whether GameStop does take this company over, does not take this company over, someone else takes this company over, GameStop will be a big fat winner on this deal. And just stick around, I'll tell you how it's going to work out. The offer from GameStop to take over eBay is to give them $125 billion, of which half is cash and half is stock. So I figure it works out to it's a $56 billion takeover, by the way. $56 billion takeover, half cash, half stock. That's $125 a share. I may have misspoken there. $125 a share, half cash, half stock. Total deal, $58 billion. The market cap of eBay on Friday night, when the stock closed at 104.07, was approximately $46.2 billion. So from $46 billion to $58 billion is $12 billion more, and that's about 25% more than what the stock was trading at. Now, in the after hours, many of you know, eBay went up to 116.35 on the rumors that something was brewing and that there could be a takeover offer. And you folks read, as I did on the Wall Street Journal site, that there was definitely something brewing between going on, that GameStop was interested in eBay. We now know there's been a formal offer made to eBay. We have not heard the response. My take on it, they're going to reject it. The eBay is going to reject the offer. And this is the job of the CEO who is running eBay now, former top executive at Walmart. He's running the company, and he has to reject the deal. This is his job. His name is Jamie Ian Nome, I believe is how you pronounce it, Jamie Ian Nome. He would be paid out, however, if he convinced the board this is a great deal, we should take the offer, he would right now walk away with at least 83 to 112 million bucks, because as CEO he gets 2 years severance pay, he gets all of his stock options completely granted to him with no restrictions, and he would then be taken out, and he would walk away very wealthy. But he's not going to take this deal because he's got a juicy pay package along with his senior executives, and the board of directors, they're not going to take this deal because they've got stock options too. They have too much to gain if they can get this deal higher up. So what could happen? Well, what if Amazon came around and said, we'll give you 150 in cash. Forget about this 50-50 stock nonsense. We'll give you 150 bucks cash for eBay instead. Would you take that deal? If that deal were accepted by the shareholders and GameStop can't offer more than that, they can't match our offer, GameStop would then sell their 20 to 22 million shares with an $85 average for 150 bucks a share in cash. Do the math, people. It's $65 a share at least profit for GameStop on 20 to 22 million shares. 1.3 to 1.4 billion dollars in profit to not take over eBay. GameStop wins no matter what. If GameStop gets the company, they've already lined up $20 billion in cash from TD Bank to get the dough. TD Bank has already gone to all kinds of institutional investors. This deal is funded by 100 players. Don't worry about it. $10 billion in cash they're sitting on. $20 billion from TD Bank gives eBay $30 billion with legals and whatever to do this deal for their end of the $28 billion pocket, and the rest is stock. There could be 1.3 million shares outstanding in the new eBay GameStop combination, and that would work out to over $50 a share if the shares go to $31.25. eBay GameStop shares go to $31.25 on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. It'll be 2 shares for every share of eBay. Two GameStop for 1 eBay plus $62.50 cash. However, that's not what's going to happen. In my humble opinion, I think eBay is going to reject the offer and want more because they're going to say it's way undervalued because we just added our sales. Our sales went up 19% last quarter. We're on the right track, blah, blah, blah. GameStop's shareholders are going to go, wait a minute, hold a second. If we take over this company, we're an S&P 500 listed company. GameStop is on the S&P 500 along with eBay. And we have an army of investors who love this deal. And GameStop shares, the shares that we own in GameStop, will be worth way more money than we're worth now, at least $50 a share on the post of this deal. If GameStop shares go to $40 a share now, let's say in the next week or two, then GameStop will offer fewer shares for $62.50 of the eBay shares. The eBay shareholders would get $125 a share, $62.50 in cash, $62.50 in stock. But if the stock is not $30, it's $40, you don't get as many shares. If GameStop shares go to $50 a share, they get even fewer shares. If GameStop shares go to $62.50 a share, it's a 1-for-1 deal. You get 1 GameStop share for every eBay share plus $62.50 in cash. Now, the eBay shareholders are going to be going, is this a good deal or a bad deal? Because if this thing happens, that GameStop only has to cough up 1 share to get our shares, that's 400 and something million shares of eBay are outstanding, 450 million shares. And there's 450 million shares out there of GameStop approximately. So there's going to be about 900 million shares out. And the combined corporation is worth $68.5 billion, 12 billion plus 58, 56, whatever the deal is here. This is a $68 billion corporation upon the merger in the takeover deal and the combined value of the two companies. If there's less than 1 billion shares out, the stock is over $60 a share on the open market. If the shares go to $70 a share or 75 on the anticipation of a higher offer, things could be happening. Bottom line is, are you a shareholder of GameStop right now? Have you been a shareholder of GameStop? Have you written cash secured puts on GameStop? Have you taken my lessons on how to be an option writer and you've written cash secured puts on GameStop, 25s, 30s? Are you still sitting on $50 GameStop cash secured puts you wrote way back when the stock took a run 2 years ago, 3 years ago? Roaring Kitty is still a GameStop shareholder as far as I know. Every GameStop shareholder is a winner right now. This stock is going to go higher than the $27 it closed at on Friday night. It's going to go through 30. Those warrants, remember the warrants that are exercisable at $32 a share? They'll all be exercised. GameStop will get $2 billion more in cash from those $32 warrants. No problem. That puts them at 12 plus billion in cash. That adds to the fire. And at the end of the day, GameStop shareholders are winners no matter what. And like I said, it could be that Shopify comes in with a takeover offer. Etsy comes in. Amazon comes in. I don't know. There could be 5 different participants wanting to buy eBay because eBay is for sale now. eBay is in play now. They cannot defend against a takeover. They're going to be taken out. It's a question of how high per share does this deal go before they are taken out. And with 22 million shares in their hands, GameStop is already a winner. They got this stuff at $85 a share, I think, at 85. So if they take 125, they win $40. They make 40 a share. If they lose this deal and get taken out to 135, they made $50 a share. That's $1 billion. $1 billion in earnings this year for GameStop, plus what they're making with their interest income, plus what they're making from their retail operations. GameStop could have a $2 billion profit this year, 5 times last year's profit. GameStop shares aren't going to be anywhere near $25, $30, $35 a share. They're going 40, 50, and more. The combination of GameStop and eBay could be very dynamic for all shareholders, including eBay shareholders. Something else I wanted to double check. I don't know if I can find it anywhere. Let me just see if this exists anywhere. Somewhere there is an indication of how many analysts there are covering eBay. I think I may have found it. Let me just double check. Yeah, here we go. We have 8 buys, 2 overweights, 23 holds, 1 underweight, and 1 sell on from eBay analysts. GameStop has 1 analyst following the company. Do you think this week and next week there'll be more analysts following GameStop now because they just made a $56 billion takeover offer of a S&P 500 company? Hello, they merged these together. All the analysts following eBay will now be following GameStop eBay. GameStop is now about to be discovered, and Ryan Cohen is about to be found and really discovered by the average investor out there. GameStop shares are going to take off. That's what's going to happen. So if you've written covered calls on GameStop, your job tomorrow is to probably buy your calls back and roll them into higher strikes further down the road for more money, if that's possible. So if you wrote calls for $2, $4, $5, and they're sitting at $3, $4, $6, $8, $9, $10, and you can turn around and write higher strike calls, say to Jan 27 or Jan 28, and you can get your hands on, let's say, instead of writing 25s or 30s, you can write 40s or 50s. You might get your hands on even more money. On the other hand, if you can buy back your calls tomorrow and fold your arms and let the stock go up with this all the speculation that's going to happen, it could be that in a few days, after a few gyrations, these shares could be 35, 45 a share, and now you're writing $50 to $60 calls for a year out, and you're bringing in $20 a share, $15 a share, I don't know what per share in premium. Really good money. Again, this is something we'll talk about. I'll be following, and I'll do some more videos on this as we try to cover this whole story. At the end of the day, the management of eBay are all out of jobs. The top guys and gals who are at eBay will be fired, let go, and replaced. Ryan Cohen will be the CEO. He'll be the chairman of the board over there. The directors will all be gone. There'll be GameStop directors will take over. And maybe Meg Whitman might join as a director. Maybe the old founder might come back and they vote for this deal. That's 10% of the company right there, plus the 5 GameStop has. They've already got 15% of the stock. They only need 51% to make this thing happen. I don't know. This is going to be one hell of a week coming up, and one heck of a month, but it is not going to be boring. And so there you go. There's my less than 20-minute video on just a few thoughts on how this deal is already evolving and what I think is going to happen. Winners for all shareholders. eBay will win. Shareholders, they're winning now. GameStop shareholders, big winners. They're going to be big winners, and GameStop could walk away with a $2 billion win if the deal is high enough, just on this move of grabbing 5%. I don't know if GameStop is allowed to buy any more shares because they've now made a formal offer. So they may not be able to buy any more shares. But if they don't get the offer, they might just keep on buying the stock and eventually get to 10, 12% anyway. I don't know. We'll watch. I'll follow it. I'll keep you posted. In the meantime, everybody, have a good Sunday night. And we'll see you tomorrow, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. I'll be following it. You'll be following it, and we'll take it from there. This is Bruce, Uncle Bruce with Stock Markets with Bruce. If you want to learn how to make money in this market, you better learn how to write stock options. And if you're going to do that, you get your butt over to my website right over here, stockmarketswithbruce.ca, and you pick up my classes on how to become an option writer. And you can take advantage of deals like this with credit spreads, naked cash secured puts you could be writing here on GameStop, on eBay, who knows what. Oh my God, there's money to be made here. But you better learn how to write options. Head to my website. There are 19 options on how to become an option writer and get rich. We'll talk to you later, everybody. Thanks, and have a good evening. Bye for now.